to We Inspire Together. I am your host, Shah Hayes, and to the right of me or to the left of me, whichever way you're looking, is our founder and co-host, Kiana. And
Hi,
we are,
everyone.
hello, we are so grateful to have here with us Ezabo Baron. He is in Uganda right now currently, and he is a part of he's a co-founder of the Waxon City Project. Hopefully I'm saying it right, which is the world's first artificial intelligence powered virtual trade city. He serves as a coordinator of AI neural network systems and a project and former robotics research coordinator at Nawaka Vocational Training College. We are just so humbled to have him here and to get an insight in his journey and being an engineer and learning more about what it takes to become one. So thank you very much, Zaba, for being here with us.
Thank you, Kayan and Isha. My name is Ezabo Baron. I'm the co-founder of Waxon City. Waxon City is something new in the world. So someone will say, where is this city located? It has no physical location. It's only found on the internet.
Well, wonderful. We'll get more into that and find out more about the project so we can get a more understanding so our audience can see or learn more about what that is.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So about the city, it started last year when I sat down and I know I come from Uganda. Uganda is in Africa. I know in the United States, they don't know Uganda, they know Africa. Africa is a continent. In Africa, we have over 50 countries. Each country has its own operation rules. Just like in the United States, you have the states, like New York, you have California. So if it was in Africa, California would be a country like Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, South Africa. Of course, in the United States, South Africa, South Africa is a country in Africa. Mm-hmm. So when you come to Africa, you definitely have to find countries instead of states, because we don't yet have states, but we have regions. In Africa, we have countries which are close to each other that do trade all the time together. They are grouped together. So we have them, East African countries, we have West African countries, Southern Africa countries. So when you go to Southern side, you may get confused because there is South Africa there. So you also have Southern Africa countries. Then you have the Central African countries. Uganda is located in the East African country.
Were you born and raised in Uganda?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Uganda, but I frequently travel to Kenya, which is our neighboring country. Maybe it's the New York of East Africa. A lot of trade activities going on there, because Uganda is a landlocked country. So if you want to go, all our goods come in through Kenya. So Kenya and Tanzania, most time when we want to happen and do a lot of sites around, we go to Kenya, we go to Rwanda. Yeah, but I also frequently travel to United States, as you've seen me.
Yes.
Just because of the COVID that I'm around. But I was born and raised in Uganda. Uganda is not a big country like the United States. It's as small as New York or Arizona, something like that.
Okay.
Well, let's get into a little bit more about your journey. So, Kiana, you want to start off there?
So I know Ezabo for some time, and what I never learned is what inspired you to becoming an engineer.
Yeah, this is a good question. Way back when I was a kid, I never dreamt of becoming an engineer because my parents, my closest uncles, most of them were medical professionals. And I think my dream was all about becoming a medical personnel, either to become a doctor. But the dream, as along the way, I kept on fighting with my parents. I partly grew up with my father, who was a laboratory technologist. And when I was with him, I was still in primary school. During that time, I would read a lot of his laboratory books. He finds me, I'm a little boy in primary school. I'm reading this, sophisticated book, and I was understanding it, how you can diagnose people and all that, how you can test different diseases. I mean, I liked it. So when he finds me, never, like minimize me, he say, okay, he starts explaining to me. I ask him questions, gives me answer. I think I was getting more dreams to become a medical professional because I knew so much. I also had another uncle who was a medical laboratory technologist. And this one, all the time, I have a burning question. I call him, uncle, can we meet? He says, yeah. I ask him, what's this and that? Gives me all the answers. So I was really coming closer to medical field. It happens that I moved from because many of my uncles loved me and they were quite well off, much more well off than my father, because they were some are senior doctors. Actually, one of them is now a commissioner for Ministry of Health in Uganda. So the other one was a senior finance officer for a leading government hospital. So he called me, he said, you come and stay with me. When I came to stay with him, I was about 2 years to finish my primary school. He was quite well off, more than my father. When I came to his home, though he was working with the medical, he was working in the government hospital as a senior finance officer and assistant medical superintendent. But he did not like to grow his children to become a medical profession because he was from accounting side. So when I was at his home, his children, they loved playing games. Every time they were studying top schools, so top schools across Uganda. So every time they come for holidays, you find them with so many gadgets. I mean, advanced gadgets. Those days, smartphones in 2004, 5, they were not so much. But you'll find I had a cousin who is currently living in Germany. He will frequently buy the latest phones. He comes and shows off to me how this one works. And then one other cousin who works with Uganda National Bureau of Statistics, he had a friend living in the UK. The friend sent him a computer in around 2015. I mean 2005, when I was now leaving, the year I was leaving primary school. I didn't have any much idea about, because I partly grew up in the village before I came into city. So I was not so much into this technology life. I had just love for medical fields, but I didn't like much. I didn't know much about technology. But my cousins, whom I was growing up with at my uncle's place, they were so much taken up by technology.
So,
and technology
Ezabo, I have a question.
Yeah.
So in the village, you said there's not as much technology, but there's more technology in the city. Is that what?
Yeah.
There's more exposure to it. Okay.
Yeah, in the village, all we did was going out to, there were movie theaters, local movie theaters, not advanced. I mean, like there's a TV and some public address system, and just making loud sound around. Go and watch those movies and dance. I never understood and I never got really so much into it. But when I came to the city, and most especially living with my uncles, the children, because they were studying top schools in the country, they will get exposed to these technologies in their schools. And when come back to holidays, I mean, they don't want to, they will still want to live their life. They're living school and home. And every time there's a new PlayStation, I mean, everything is there. So I was not so much, I didn't like to play games. I mean, like, it will be a one PlayStation and everyone is just all over the sitting room fighting over it. Yeah, we'll just sit there, humble boy, and watch them doing stuff. But now one day, one of my cousins, around 2005, I was sitting in their room. They were playing game on computer. And I was just watching all the time. I come in, watch them, appreciate what they're doing. He just looked at me with his strange eyes and like, you little boy, you come here every day, don't want to touch anything, just sit there. If today you can't touch it, just leave, don't come here again. I sat down, I'm like, now this guy don't want me to come here again. And I like to see them doing this, playing the games. I really enjoy it, what they're doing. But they're like, if I don't do it, I should not come back to the room. And they were very serious. So
Okay.
I sat down and
So you said that there's some limitations in where you are, well, for the most part in Uganda, and they have to travel, children would have to travel to the city. Are there any programs there now that are allowing children to be able to be introduced to engineering?
Yeah. Now at least it's now at least widely across most percent the cities, not so common in the up country, but in the cities, urban areas, robotics and STEM is moving on well, and I've been part of that in the recent days and all that. But the time that was around 2003, it was nothing. There was nothing there.
It was nothing.
I mean, everything was just in town, and even in the city, it wasn't so much because technology was still coming to Africa, and the cost and even the technical expertise were still scarce. But right now, we are competing with the rest of the world in everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's good that you say that. So what type of technologies are being used in Uganda to better the communities? Are there some technologies that are being created right now and used?
In the recent days, we have been engaging children in coding competitions, electronics design. We have robotics, and in the previous years, we started with the Lego kits, but Lego kits was quite expensive to maintain and to sustain. So we had to go a bit creative and start building something from scratch, like the robots you've seen in my pictures. We did them from scratch, but we only bought the components. The fabrications were done in our labs. At least now, that's using Arduino boards, Arduino microcontroller boards, which we source from outside. At least right now, as we talk, virtual reality is not getting closer here. Many children are getting to virtual reality. And the future is big, but there's still a lot to do. I don't think there's a lot to do.
And I see you do a lot of humanitarian initiatives in your community. Can you explain one of them and what you're actually doing in your community with technology?
In 2015, I started with promoting web development and coding in universities, where I was bringing together secondary students together with the university students. Then when it came into 2016, I was getting into taking vocational students to go for a robotics competition across East Africa. I did that up to 2018. Then I definitely, it was at a humanitarian level. When I started, I won some travel awards to travel to United States. That was between 2018, 19. So I became a bit engaged in the professional side of it. But I do support, like at my capacity, I do work the other initiatives, the other teams who are doing the same. They still depend on me in building capacity. Like calling me, Baron, how do we do this? How do we do that? So I just like giving them support. But currently my work is much on in building this virtual city project. But particularly, we are working on developing an e-learning platform within it, because the e-learning is still low in our country, and COVID found most of us not having e-learning platforms. And as we talk now, schools were just on standby, and the currently only candidates are now back to school, but the rest of the students, over 10 million, still stranded at home. So yeah, they don't know when they will start. They don't know when they will be back to school. But the candidates, recently there was a sort of a privilege given to the candidate classes to go back about 1 month now. So that inspired me to begin to develop an e-learning platform, and of course to push for policy changes, policy discussion with the government, so that e-learning is recognized. So I also, of course, during this pandemic, I was able to make foot operated hand washing systems, and which we donated to the universities, and also we made the masks, we gave it to them. Now, right now, our attention is on e-learning. In the previous years, I also did a lot with, as I say, like promoting computer programming in the universities, and
So explain, I mean, for someone who's not as, as versed when it comes down to engineering, and who would need to know the difference when it comes down to engineering, because people think engineering is just one field. Explain the kind of maybe the 5 categories when it comes down to, you talk about robotics and AI. What does it mean when you talk about engineering and the variations of engineering that goes into career fields?
To be called an engineer, let me say, the word engineering is kind of losing meaning because people are becoming multidisciplinary. Someone studying electrical engineering and is competing for career with the computer scientists, and computer scientists are competing with telecom engineers. I think the baseline is to be good in physics and mathematics. Once you understand physics and mathematics, then it's easy to move across. But a professional engineer studies engineering content, like let me say engineering math and engineering science. This may not be studied by computer scientists who are practicing engineering profession, because you'll find that let's say now we're having a machine learning and artificial intelligence, which is dominating the world. I find that computer scientists are much in better advantage than electrical engineers who are getting into machine learning and artificial intelligence, because there are some course units like data structures and algorithms, which are not taught in most engineering courses. These are the logic that runs the machine learning and artificial intelligence. So you find that the kids in engineering school can program, they can write good codes, but when it comes to creating a proper logic of coding a serious modern application that runs on artificial intelligence, they may be having some sort of challenge, which the same challenge may not be there in someone who studied computer science. I think
both. Then when a blend, like if you had a combination, So what have you learned about yourself throughout this journey, from primary school through now running the Walk to the City?
As I was telling you, let me briefly end the other topic I was having, where my uncle's children and all that. During that time, at my uncle's place, I began to transit now to computing, because now I was not with my father now, and when I went to secondary school, I was taken to a school which was well equipped with the computer labs and all that, and there was very good teacher who really loved what he was teaching. So when I went to that school, I found myself at home. Most of my time I would spend like 8 hours a day in a computer lab. So I don't know how many hours I spend in other classes, and caused me problem because I became addicted to computing. I asked myself, Baron, do you know anything like sports? Do you know anything like sports? I don't know anything like sports. I don't play football. I don't play basketball. I don't like to watch them. So I said, what can you do better? I say it's computing. So I started doing much of computing. I would go around helping neighbors whose computers were spoiled. I will learn a lot from them. When I'm fixing, I'll also cause trouble to their computing. What I can say is that now the first journey started in 2006 when I read about Bill Gates. I read about Bill Gates and Microsoft, that this guy is very rich. The richest guy in the world, and he's doing software engineering. I'm like, software engineering? Then I must become a software engineer. I went and told my friends at school, there's a guy called Bill Gates. He's the richest man in the world. He owns Microsoft, and he's a software engineer. I want to become a software engineer. Then students all over started calling me software engineer, everything. When there's a problem, there's an argument in the compound, and someone wants to we finish that argument, say, okay, let's go and consult Baron. He knows what to do. So I became
That's awesome.
the ICT consultant in school. So
We need
that
more minds
inspired
like
me a
that.
lot. Yeah. So every time there's anything involving computing in school, they know Baron can finish that argument or he can tell you what to do. So I think it inspired me a lot. But I kept having some sort of battle with my uncle. No, my uncle didn't like me to start being so much addicted to computing in secondary school because I was very intelligent, most especially in science, science subjects like mathematics, biology, chemistry. But I never liked them. I never liked. I was so intelligent, but I will pass them well, but had no me.
Okay.
I only want to study computing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was about to finish high school, I think my uncle started controlling me, like not wanting to give me money. Anytime I want to do something computing, he becomes stubborn. Say, you first finish my my classes in general education. Then I'll cater for your computing after. I think it made me sort of annoyed. I sat down and like, you know what? If my uncle doesn't want to support me now, let me now start doing my computing. I look for my ways of doing it. So I think in 2011 we had a very hot argument with him, and I disrespected him. I was like, if you don't want, leave me, and I start my life. So
So you
I
so you
wanted,
mentioned so you
yeah,
mentioned Microsoft and like with Bill Gates. What are some
yeah.
other companies or individuals that have inspired you over your career?
Oh, yeah. There are very many. Of course, I got to know about that's IEEE in 2008. It was a friend, actually. There was a magazine. I had a friend working with a local company in Uganda, a German company. And there was an IEEE magazine. And I mean, like, it had so many complicated technologies. And this guy, like, Baron, you know what? I don't understand anything in this magazine, but I know for you, you know what is happening inside. Have it. So I got it. I looked at it. So many exciting technology. I felt like I need to know much about this. So I think I spent 2008, 9, 10. I spent it researching about IEEE. And as already I knew Bill Gates' program since actually I contacted Microsoft in 2006, and they responded to me because there was a Bill Gates email which used to be online. You could write to him and Microsoft will respond to you. So it inspired me a lot.
Oh, wow,
But
nice.
later they later automated the email because I think they wanted to kick out so many. So it inspired me. By 2008, I knew Microsoft. I was already working towards to become like Bill Gates. Then the IEEE came in to know them in 2008. And it really inspired me in 2010. One of my teachers, I convinced him to join IEEE because I couldn't pay the money. So he will tell me what IEEE is offering him. So in 2013, 2013, I was already working with some Italian company. I was managing their computer systems, and I was having a lot of exposure to international experts. There was my friend, my sister, my real sister, my elder sister, was working with the human one of the human resource manager for United Nations Uganda, because I stay in a place called Entebbe. Entebbe is the first city of Uganda, and that's where the international airport is, the state house, and so many other beaches and all. I mean, it's a luxury place. So being near these high quality places, my sister was working with a human resource officer of UN. So she was a lady, an American lady, and the husband came in husband came from US for a holiday with her. So I went away with my sister, and he ran into trouble. His computer ran into trouble, and he needed an expert to fix it. My sister told him, I have a little brother there who can do it. He's like, I don't think anyone can fix it. My sister said he can do it. Then he told my sister, just tell me where he is. I will go and surprise him. So my sister told him he works in this company, an Italian company. You go to this place. So he came in with a wife. He found me seated on my servers, busy, very busy. I'm on my computer, not caring about anyone coming in. So he was like, looked at me for some time. I wasn't caring. He asked me, is this Baron? I said, yeah. He said, he looked at me with strange eye, like, your sister sent me here and told me you're the best expert around here. But if you mess up with my computer, I'll kill you today. So I said, I won't do it. I won't do anything wrong with it. He said, fine. I'm going to sit there with my wife, start fixing my computer. I'm placing you
Uh-oh. Did it freeze?
$80. $80, a lot of money. Means to give me $80. I mean, like, he could pay me $10, but he said, I'm giving you 80. But I think by then he had no cash because in Uganda we use cash a lot, and he probably was using credit cards. But never told me he had no cash, but just told me when I fixed his computer, it was working very well as he wants. Then he came and told me, now, I don't have cash. If you want anything on the internet, I can buy it for you right now. Now, what do you want? I told him, give me some time. I think about it. So after taking some time, like, okay, pay for my membership for IEEE. He said what is IEEE. I explained to him. Then he looked it on the internet, found it's a legit company, and then he paid for my membership. But I still had some balance with him. And he came back to me that I still have your money. I paid your membership, but I still have a lot of money that out of the $80, what else do you want? I said, you buy for me some of my dream computer books and all that. So that's the first time. Then when he paid me, I stayed for around three months. I received an email from a team from Uganda who invited me for a meeting to form IEEE in Uganda. It was just more of researchers, professors in a university. So I went in there. I said, you know what? I want to become a leader in IEEE. If I go there, even when I don't win, because I know, looking at the people who are coming to attend the meeting, they're all professors. I'm not a professor. So I'll compete with them. I went there, competed, and I became the local leader. So from that time, I've enjoyed all the benefits of IEEE, and it has pushed me to where I am.
So what is one of your greatest achievements?
I think my greatest achievement is that I've been able to promote my technology internationally, because sometimes the technologies like robotics that we try to start them here in Africa, they were not really so famous because people like these things don't work in Africa, still believe in traditional technology. When talk of advanced technology, no one cares much about you. I mean, the funding is not there and all that. But I've been able to stick to my point, and they promoted it, and it made me, in 2018, I won international awards, and I've been frequenting the world, which what most of my age mates don't actually do. And I got exposed to machine learning and artificial intelligence, virtual reality, all these. I got exposed in the United States. That's true. When I came back here, I was able to be a champion, and I started my own, my own city, which will be powered by artificial intelligence. It's just 1 year old, but it's known all over the country and most parts of the world. People know this guy is developing a virtual city, and I'm working to achieve that.
You're going to be Bill Gates of Uganda.
Exactly. I love it, especially with the passion he has.
Yeah, I really want.
So explain to us what is WOX and what is your team actually developing?
It's going to be like a social network. Let me say it's a social network like Facebook, but it will have what we want to do is to make it real. Like, what inspired me, our country, there's so much. When you try to get to a city, there's so much traffic. Everything is in the city, there's nothing. You just go home to sleep. You go like over 40 kilometers to sleep. But when to get into city, you'll take over 3 hours, 4 hours getting to the city center because of traffic. I was getting so tired of these things, you know. I like, why do you keep going to city all the time? You either go there to meet a friend, I mean, to look around to shop something, like you have to look around it. I mean, like when you want to look for a shop where you can buy something, you move around and around. I mean, I was getting tired of all this. I'm like, can't people work at home? You know, some of the jobs can be done at home. Financial jobs, technology jobs, consulting jobs, lawyers. Lawyers don't need an office. You know, you could, like the way we're on Zoom like this, you could finish your business with a lawyer. The way we're on Zoom here. So all these things, I looked at them. Going to school, no, sitting in class all the time. I never like it. I never want to be in class. I mean, like physical classes. I feel like should start wherever I am. So I got so much tired of life. I'm like, let me build up like a mobile computer website and a mobile application where all these services, hospitals can be accessed, like using IoT. You could connect to, doctors can know what your temperatures are. You see now during this COVID, we're using temperature guns which are connected through IoT to the medical servers. I'm like, all these things can be linked from a web. And someone just simply, if now like I want to go to city to buy something, I can take a virtual tour of all the products being sold, the shops, I can actually conduct a real-time video conferencing with the trader and ask him, okay, sample for me this one. Then I want that cloth. I want this shirt, you know. Before I get in there, before I leave my home to go there, I have to know. Of course, why I wanted to make it real. Amazon is already doing it, but you know, I want to make it real because there's a lot of fraud. Someone can show you a picture of a nice dress. When you order it, it doesn't come. But I see like this, the way we're on the Zoom like this. I tell him, you know, show me this one. And I see then.
So I'm clear, it's a virtual platform.
Yeah.
So everything will be online. Okay. Okay. So it's not a physical location where someone will go. Okay.
Yeah. So it will definitely want to make any life someone experiences in the city live. Of course, it will connect to the real world. For example, we talked about having a virtual airport, where you can do all your travel itineraries from our city, and then you just go to the airport to take a flight. Maybe you can process visa and all that. Just go to airport to take a flight. So I want to simplify life. I'm tired, you know, sometimes I don't just want to get out of home to meet people. Just want to remain in my basement and do my things.
So
someone wants to meet me.
So that's on your bucket list. So you want to get that going and.
Yeah.
What else is on your bucket list?
Now, of course, I think it's a big project. I mean, it's so big that I think it's what I want to put all my time in. I can't finish it now. It's if I'm to automate every city life. Of course, there's some things we want to automate. It will really demand a lot of my time. I think in the coming years, 2 years, I'll put most of my time in that. I would want to get into any new things because I think I have known a lot of technology. I just want to focus on the investment, like business. I don't want to try anything new. I could just maybe focus on bringing in a team that can take over the business. I think I've done a lot in technology. My next dream in 3 years, 5 years is to have a team that runs the business when I'm seated somewhere managing the business aspect and they manage the technology aspect. I'm almost getting to 40 years. I'm somewhere, I'm 33 years old. So I would like to get into 40s when I'm still so mad with technology.
So what do you look for when you're recruiting for your team? What do you look for specifically?
I have a challenge, most especially in Africa, because most of the technology I use in my system, this is more of, let's say, to require more experienced programmers like from US, you know, from my travel, I've seen how advanced you can implement technologies. Let me say, like, within our system, we need streaming platforms like Zoom, like this, or like YouTube, where people can watch uploaded content. You literally work across Africa. You don't find developers who can do this kind of implement this kind of platform. Though I know it myself, I know how it is done. But when I'm hiring, I would like to hire someone who knows it.
Right.
You know,
so that's a
not
challenge.
someone whom I'm going to start training. You know, wasting all the time training, and at the end, when you train, they get hired by another company. I would love to get someone who also understands it, but because of education system, I find that I don't find the right skill set to work in my project. Yeah, that, and also another thing, if maybe the infrastructure that is putting on me pressure, maybe to think of a foreign incubation hub. So I think I'll have to look in whether I'll have local developers or foreign developers. I'm open to any choice, whether foreign or local developers, because I need by the time I'm in 40s, I'm not in the lab anymore. I'm just traveling like big, meeting business partners, signing agreements, getting yeah.
So what advice do you have for a child that's interested in becoming an engineer? What would you say to them?
First of all, it's important to expose them to STEM and using a different platform. And now I've been testing so many platforms. iPad and Microsoft Surface are really good platforms to get kids into technology, because once I know they are very expensive, but if you get a kid a low-cost iPad, when I was in Walmart, I've seen so many models of these that are handheld devices for kids to start experimenting. Instead, before you buy the high end, I think the high like an iPad, latest around $2,000. Maybe you may not want to purchase that for a kid, but if you can expose a kid to these small technologies, and also like Lego kits, they'll get to appreciate this. But besides, when this kid gets into high school, they really have to study the theory, because most people want the practical, but they don't want the theory. To be someone like us who can think freely, I don't ask someone what to do. I think for myself most of the time. If you're a musical artist, you should be able to write your own songs, not getting someone to write for you the songs. You're just there to sing. The theory is very important. As I say that, for let's say for high school, they need to know sciences very well. In Uganda, when we call of sciences, we're talking of biology, chemistry, mathematics, and physics. Biology, chemistry, mathematics, and physics. These are sciences. Then in addition, they need to know English if they are speaking English. Because in programming is all about mathematics and English. You get your logics, you write your algorithms in English, and then you convert them into mathematics. So to have a good reasoning, you need to know how to read through things and interpret them. So to know your language, national language, for those who speak Chinese, or they need to know their Chinese, But for English countries, they need to know the English. Because in Uganda, before you can be admitted to medical schools, they need you to have good credits in mathematics, English, physics, chemistry, and biology. Of course, that's the primary. But besides knowing sciences, I found something very interesting that may be the future, that is knowing fine art and design. I was not good in drawing. I just I'm just beginning to practice, because my work requires me to have good designers, creative designers. If someone is so good in creative design, and then it's very, very, very okay. And then another thing is knowing how to trying to make things using local material. If I look at something over the internet, and like for us in Africa, we have challenges buying these technologies from outside. Sometimes there's trade restriction. We can't ship. You look at something on Amazon, you want to purchase it, it can't be shipped to Uganda, or it can't be shipped to any nearing country. most of the things sold on Walmart, Best Buy, they can't get into our country. So if you look at something, let me say, you're looking at a virtual reality headset over the internet and it can't be shipped. So you should be able to get and make it using a local technology. I think that's theory, getting to know basic science, the theory is very important, and getting to know the practicals. Yeah.
That's great.
And of course, yeah.
I was just going to say, what is some of the things that, other than the physical location of where Uganda is in Africa, do you want anyone who's watching this to know about, in terms of like just where your country is, and so we can be more informed, as everyone who's watching this on this platform can learn more about Uganda and where they are now, and where you as a person there would like to see in the future.
Yeah, of course, in the future, we really want to. Technology is moving faster, and of course, as I can say, most of our people are almost getting closer. Before, technology used to leave us behind. You know, we get to know things when that happened like 5-10 years, but right now, because of internet, I mean, technology reaches to us very fast, and we get to research about it. YouTube has a lot of information. Google has a lot of information. News platforms, Facebook. I mean, social network is giving out. At least we're seeing many of our people are up to date, but we still have challenges in the curriculum, where what is taught in universities don't actually correspond to what is happening. And you find that we don't get much research in the university. We have to fight for ourselves. You know, you get a little knowledge in university, you have to form a group of yourselves. Then sometimes when you're stranded with the resources, like right now, we're trying to build our streaming platform, but we've been having some trouble getting high-end the multimedia devices to the country. So you find that in that case, we have that challenge, but we are constantly talking to our governments, you know, to make things, to happen. Then,
and then there's a lot of that. Is that a lot of? I didn't mean to cut you, but there's a lot of the things you want to see. Is that have to be in partnership with your government in order to see that things happen? Or are you able to just like create an organization and off you go?
It's true. Yeah, of course. Now, challenge creating organizations are good, but sometimes sustaining them, you know, have to depend on foreign sources. When maybe if you spend a year without a donation, you will not do a lot. But we try, and of course, we want the government to give us the resources. They have the money, they just don't want to give it to us. You know,
that's
not like in the United States, where you have so many packages for, you know. Of course the culture of people. For example, in Africa, it's easy for people to contribute for weddings. You know, if I have a wedding and I need I need like $5,000 US, I will probably get it because people will contribute it. I'll wait. I'll get my wife and wait, and they'll come and they'll eat food and they'll drink. But if I have a business and tell them, please contribute to the business, you'll get a share out of it. No one will give you money. So they prefer to spend in enjoyment compared to, you know, this is bothering us a lot, especially the startups in Africa. We really don't have much sources, and you know, it is frustrating. People come in when they're young, they try to do a lot. When they feel they're defeated, they're going to doing some other things which don't even count. And you find, so of course, a few of us who are internationally exposed, we try to strive hard to get ahead of it. So I think it's good to have a global network, so that when you're stranded back home, you get help from overseas.
Yes. Well, this was great information today.
Yeah.
Really great. You know, we're actually very happy to have you join us. Inspire is a global platform, and we like to meet and share information from individuals from all around the world, not just here in the U.S. And I really appreciate you coming on to tell us a little bit about Uganda and what you're doing over there, and teaching us, you know, about challenges as well as some of the things that are up and coming in your area. So I really want to say thank you for
Welcome.
time to be a part of Inspire.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kayana and Sha. One day I
Thank
hope
you
to
so much.
see you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
pleasure to meet you, and you take care, and well wishes to all endeavors. I know we'll be seeing you in all the
Okay.
magazines soon.
Yeah, that's that's true. Yeah, yeah.
You'll be in the magazines that you were reading about.
Wow, that's nice. I'll be very excited to read about myself. I'm also going to
That's
share
right.
this so that people see.
Yes, absolutely. Well wishes to you.
That's fine. Yeah.
And for anyone, if you have someone who inspired you, or you would like to be a part of Inspire, please reach us. Send us an email, inbox us. We would love for you to share your story with us.
That's nice. I'll do that.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
A good
Okay,
morning.
likewise.
It's a good morning.
Yeah. It's I guess around 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
I just pulled up the world clock because I was like, oh, it's pretty late there. So get some rest.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Take care.
Okay. Stay well. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay.